Now next one is discerning the individual antidotes. Which means thinking of antidotes. So there are two antidotes. One is the antidote to the cause of misconduct or impure moral conduct. And the second one is antidote to the result misconduct. Also one is the cause which causes the misconduct, and second is the result misconduct itself. So first, the antidote to the cause of misconduct. Which means mainly the gross mental afflictions. When we have the mental afflictions, then that causes many falls. You call mental affliction, Glenn? Mental affliction, Nyamon? Mental affliction. So this, when there's a gross mental affliction, then that causes many falls. It transgresses the moral conduct of oneself and others, or it makes our own moral conduct and others' moral conduct into an impure moral conduct. So there are two antidotes to the mental affliction. First antidote that can control the mental affliction. The second antidote is the one that eliminates the mental affliction from our mind stream. First one is to control or to abandon some of the mental afflictions, but not able to abandon all the mental afflictions. So actually it's not called control, it's called suppressing, subduing part of the mental affliction. Antidote that subdues part of the mental affliction. And second antidote means by one antidote that can eliminate all the mental afflictions completely. So for example, if there's an excess of attachment or gross attachment, then we visualize all as a skeleton like that, etc. And then if we have a strong anger, then we meditate on loving kindness, etc. So these antidote that can subdue part of the mental afflictions. Then second antidote means realizing the true nature of all the phenomena, or realizing the emptiness, which means not just empty but the one that is free from all the extremes. So this is realized by the wisdom, special wisdom. So this wisdom is the the real attitude eliminates all the mental afflictions completely from our mind stream. So, loving kindness and compassion cannot eliminate all the mental afflictions from our mind stream. They can subdue part of it, but not able to eliminate all the mental afflictions. But wisdom, special wisdom, can eliminate all. Now the antidote to the result impure moral conduct for that we need to have the pure moral conduct. So, as I said before, pure moral conduct means keeping the moral conduct with bodhicitta, with right view and with right education, etc. So this can be explained in three parts, or this antidote moral conduct, pure moral conduct, also has three kinds of pure moral conduct. How you call in English, Glenn? The three kinds of moral conduct. The one that abandons the false or controls the false, and second that collects all the virtues, and third that benefits sentiment. I don't know how to say.
Yeah, just the ethics of avoiding harmful or abandoning harmful behavior, engaging in virtue, and benefiting others.
So first one is moral control of controlling the abandoning the non-virtue. First one is first kind of moral conduct is called the abandoning the moral control of abandoning the false. Second is moral control of collecting the virtues
or engaging
in virtues. Second is the moral control of engaging in the virtues. Third one is moral control of benefiting others. So first one means moral conduct that abandons the false, physical false, verbal false, and mental false. And second one is engaging in virtues, the moral conduct of engaging in virtues, which means doing virtuous deeds or engaging in virtuous deeds. And third one is benefiting others, means keeping moral conduct for the sake of other sentient beings or benefiting others. Actually, there are many different kinds of vows. Also, in the Patimoksha vow, there are many different kinds of Patimoksha vows, like refuge vow, 8-step vow, what do you call it? Upasaka vow? Upasaka vow? Huh? Not Mahayana vow. Upasaka vow, and then fully ordained vow, etc. And Mahayana vow maybe mean the bodhicitta vow. Bodhicitta vow. But that is not part of the Patimoksha vow. So, when you keep the moral conduct, you abandon the non-virtues like killing, action of killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, etc. You can you can keep depending on what vow you received. You have different numbers of precepts or rules to keep. Generally speaking, you need to keep the 5 precepts. 5 precepts means not doing or abandoning the action of killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, negative lying, and taking intoxications, substances. So any killing, starting from tiny insects up to human beings, any act of killing is something that we need to abandon. And stealing also, any act of stealing, even a tiny thing, we should abandon. Then sexual misconduct we should abandon, and then we should abandon the negative lying. Negative lying means lying that is negative action. Actually, not all the lying are negative action, I think. For example, I think when we see deers going to the eastern direction, and then after seeing these deers going towards the eastern direction, then after that, if we meet the hunter, and if the hunter asks you where the deers went, and if you tell the truth, then the hunters will kill all these deers. So at that time, not telling the truth is positive. If you tell the truth, all these deers will lose their own lives. And not only that, this hunter will commit serious negative actions. So in order to avoid such thing, if the person does not tell the truth, then it's positive action at that time. So it depends on the situation. So I think not all the lyings are negative. So therefore I say we should avoid negative lying. And then, but also sometimes telling the truth is negative. Actually, in the 10 non-virtuous actions, one is called the divisive speech. Divisive speech, a speech that divides two persons, two friends, or two community, or two centers, or two associations, or two countries, etc. So, to be a divisive speech, not necessarily to be a lie. Even you tell the truth, if by telling such truth words, if that caused to divide two person or two society or anything, then that word, that speech becomes negative, because that speech or that words cause to divide. That speech cause to have a more, or that speech cause to have a disharmony, or that speech divides the two sides. So even though it is true, but by saying that if it divides or it that cause to have a disharmony, then such words, such true words, telling such true words becomes negative. Anyway, fourth one is to avoid negative lying, and fifth one is to avoid having intoxication substances. And also try to abandon the 10 noble virtues and try to accomplish the 10 virtues as much as one can. And also it says, by keeping the 5 precepts, naturally one abandons the 10 non-virtues. Because by abandoning the action of killing, then indirectly it also abandons the ill will thoughts. And by abandoning the stealing, indirectly it also abandons the covetousness. And by abandoning the negative lying, indirectly it abandons the harsh words and ideas, gossip, and divisive speech. So, therefore, by keeping the 5 precepts, it indirectly keeps it indirectly abandons the 10 negative actions. So, generally speaking, keeping pure moral conduct is very, very important. It is the base of all our practice. Whatever practice that we do, we should base on our own pure moral conduct. And it is said, keeping pure moral conduct is like the foundation. For example, when we build a high-rise building, first we need to have a solid foundation. If there's no solid foundation, then based on fragile foundation, one cannot build a high-rise building because there's a fragile foundation. So to build a high-rise building, first and foremost, we need a very strong foundation, very solid foundation. So similarly, first and foremost, we need to have a very strong foundation of pure moral conduct. Then based on this, then we can build up, we can build the highest building of realization. We can gain higher and higher realization, or we can move forward on the path. So, as the great Acharya Vasubandhu said in his text called Abhidhamma Kosha, based on pure moral conduct, then we should study and contemplate, or we should listen, contemplate, and meditate on Dharma. So this is a structure which can be applied to all the Buddhist practices, not only the Mahayana practices, but all the Buddhist practices. So all the Buddhist practices have the same structure. So first we need to keep the moral conduct, but at the same time, we should have the right motivation to keep the moral conduct. If we keep the pure moral conduct with the attachment to this life, or for the sake of this life alone, then it is not right. Then such moral conduct will not become our pure moral conduct, because we stain the moral conduct by having the wrong intention, by having the wrong purpose, or by having the having a negative purpose to keep the moral conduct. So therefore, first it is important to have the right motivation. So we can't say just by studying Dharma, just by practicing Dharma, just by keeping the moral conduct, or just by listening and contemplating and meditating on Dharma is always a virtuous deed. It's not, we can't say like this. Because if we have attachment to this life, with attachment to this life, if we do all these things, then these actions will not become a pure virtues, because these actions are stained or transgressed by our attachment to this life. So therefore, the great Arya Manjushri, when he gave the fifth instructions, which is the essence of Mahayana teaching, that is known as the parting from the four attachment to our great Sakya Kunga Nyingpo, in the first line it says, if you have attachment to this life, you are not a spiritual person. So if we follow the Dharma, or if we practice Dharma, study and practice Dharma with the attachment to this life, then no matter how much effort that we put, no matter how many years that we study and practice Dharma, still we are not real Dharma practitioners, because we have the attachment to this life. So therefore, it's important to check our own intention, our own motives behind the action. So sometimes we may deceive by ourselves without checking the intention, without checking the motivation. If we study and practice for so many years, and if we listen and receive the teachings from many great masters for so many times, then after many years we might think, we have done so much in this life, we have done so much good things in this life, we have not wasted our life, we have not wasted our precious time, we have done very many good things. But it is not certain that whether we have done good things or not, because if we have done all these for many years with the attachment to this life, then still one has not done real good thing. One has not done the real Dharma practice or genuine Dharma practice for a single day after so many years. So therefore, if you don't check the motivation, then sometimes one may deceive one can deceive oneself. So it is very important to check our own motivation in the beginning, before doing any Dharma practice. So, as I said before, to keep the pure moral conduct, we should have the three things: the preparation, the main part, and the conclusion part. And the second kind of moral conduct is called engaging in the virtuous deeds. The moral conduct of engaging in the virtuous deeds. So the moral conduct of engaging in virtuous deeds means at that time we should have the mind, or we should have the wish to abandon the non-virtuous and their cause, which is afflicting emotions. If we have the wish to abandon non-virtuous and their cause, then that is called the moral conduct of engaging in the virtuous deeds. Engaging in virtuous deeds or collecting the virtuous deeds means many different kinds of virtuous deeds, collecting many different kinds of virtuous deeds, or engaging in many different kinds of virtuous deeds, starting from refuge until we collect the qualities of the Buddha. So after that, there are we can collect many different kinds of qualities or virtuous deeds. And then third kind of moral conduct means the moral conduct of benefiting others. So this means we should have the wish to abandon the afflicted mind, and then benefit other sentient beings. So these three moral conducts are very, very important to keep with the right motivation and with the right wisdom and also with the right dedication. And to practice the moral conduct, we also can apply the four qualities and abandonment of the seven attachments as it is applied to the generosity. One can also apply this to the second perfection. Actually, these things, four qualities and seven attachments, can be applied to all the six perfections. But then the opposite of the perfection is different, and some are different, but mainly it's the same structure. The opposite of generosity is stinginess, and the opposite of pure moral conduct is impure moral conduct, etc. So opposite factor is different, and some part are different, but generally the structure is same. So we should practice the pure moral conduct with four qualities and with the abandonment of the seven attachments. And there's a benefit of keeping the pure moral conduct. There's temporary benefit and ultimate benefit.